Welcome to the Hyrox Heroes podcast. I am your host, Damien Votter, and let's get into the episode. All right, guys, let's jump into this episode of the Hyrox Heroes podcast. And today I'm going to be covering a topic that a lot of you are going to be very excited to listen to. And we're going to be talking about how to shave minutes, literally minutes off your Hyrox time. And this is the best bit, without the need to be any fitter or without needing to change anything from where you are like right now. And it's more of an idea and a concept that if you grasp and understand and apply it, and I'm talking about applying it to your training right away, and especially your next Hyrox race, will see you shave minutes. And I've seen people that I've worked with literally shave 5 minutes off their Hyrox time. Me and my partner Gab in our Hyrox doubles, we shaved nearly 2 minutes off our time from focusing just on this one thing, putting more emphasis. And we already had a good concept. So we know it works and we know it's powerful. And it's something that I'm here to highlight with you today that is going to have a huge impact. And I'm really excited to share. And this is the idea of fast transitions. So what do I mean by a fast transition? So in the event of Hyrox, right, there are lots of transitions. So a transition is from your run to the station, right? So on your first run going into the ski erg, then we transition out of the ski erg back onto the run, the time through the rock zone. Anytime we are going from one movement to another, right, is a transition. But also there are transitions everywhere, right? Even in the stations. Think about when you are doing like your walking lunges. Typically on the courses, there is a turn point, right? So how you go through that turn point. Are you someone that will run to the line, or are you someone that will walk there casually, right? That is a transition within the station. Transitioning through the rock zone. So we come out of the station, so we got to run out of the station, and then we got to go through the rock zone. Are we taking a drink? Are we walking with our drink? Are we running with our drink? Are we stopping with our drink? All of these things are part of time that we spend transitioning. Now, when you look to the top of the field, right? And for a lot of people, we're not at the top of the field, but when you look at it, like they do not stop. And as soon as they finish the station, or they are just straight onto the run, or if they're running, they don't stop running until they pick up their equipment or get on their erg machine. So they understand that there is no time to transition. You need to just, as soon as you can, just get straight back onto pace, onto the run, or start your station as quick as you can. Now, for a lot of new people, that level of fitness to be able to just transition quickly, right, is not an easy thing. This is the time of the race where you can catch your breath. Especially think about it. You come off the burpee station. The last thing we all want to do is run straight away, right? We want to walk and we want to catch our breath. Okay, but this is going to highlight several things as well when we look at the idea of transitioning, but also when we look at then the overall and the broader pace throughout the station, throughout Hyrox. Because if we are going so fast in the run or so fast in the station, that then that transition is slowed down and we have to walk and we have to catch our breath, then a point could be raised that maybe our pace or the speed at which we're doing the movement or the run is too fast, right? So then we slow down in the transition period. So then it's like by going a little bit slower in the stations, maybe we can minimize that transition, have no slow transition, no need to walk, get straight back onto the run, again at a slower pace. But this could overall shave minutes off your time. So there's an idea, and I always mention it to all of the people that I work with, is like, smooth is fast, fast is smooth. So it's sometimes going a little bit slower, but to go faster overall. It's a really cool concept. So today we're going to really look at how to solve and how to fix your transition problem, right? So you can guarantee by focusing on this and taking the concept today, I guarantee you're going to at least get 1 minute quicker. Like that's how powerful it is, let alone any more. All right, so we got to really, now we're going to dive into like really understanding, the cost of a slow transition, right? And think about how quick seconds can add up to minutes, right? So a really good example, let's go the sleds. Sleds are pretty early on, right? But think about the sled push. So how easy is it to push it the first length, 12.5 meters? Then when you have to turn around, you stand up tall, legs are burning, like 1 second, 2 second. The turn happens 3 seconds, 4 seconds. You take a big breath. You're still coming off, recovering from the run. The adrenaline's high. You're at 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. You sort of look left and right, 9 seconds, 10 seconds. And then even if you started pushing right at that point again, that is still, for most people, a fairly quick turnaround. Let alone people who take more time to take a few extra breaths, maybe get some, chalk or something on their arms. It's like, before you know it, it could be like 15, 20 seconds have gone by just for the turn, right? Where if we look at, again, people who are moving a little bit quicker or with a little bit more intention in this transition, they will push the sled like maybe a little bit slower, just taking their time just that little bit more, which might means it takes them 3 seconds longer to get to the end. But then as soon as the sled gets to the end, they turn around, they take one big breath, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and they're straight back on the push, right? Now, obviously, it's one of those things that you just don't have that ability to do that straight away. You got to just focus on this, like in training, it becomes a skill like a lot of things. But also, when we think of like the rest that we take to catch our breath, I say this all the time as another concept. It's like, it's hard either way. It's hard either way if you get started straight away, and it's hard if you take your time. So the body is just under stress. The body is trying to tell you to stop and slow down. So a lot of the times when we take that extra time in the transition, it's not always, right? It's not to say it's not ever, but it's not always like a needed thing. It's just your body trying to say, hey, slow down. I'm dying, right? Like, I can't keep up with this, where it's just a protective mechanism. So sometimes by, taking that extra time, it doesn't actually have any benefit, right? Other than just a bit of mental relief. But then it still gets hard because now more time has passed, right? Your legs are still burning. You still got lactic acid there. Your heart rate is still up. And then you're pushing the sled anyway, except you've just prolonged the time, right? So just getting straight back onto it, and movement as well, like actually moving can actually help get blood flow. So the problem with moving and catching your breath and, blowing up as such, again, comes down to if we are moving too fast, right? Too fast. So that's why, again, focusing on slowing yourself down potentially in your pace in the run and the movements, right? And making up that time with fast transitions, we'll see you not only be able to sustain a better pace throughout the whole event, right? You'll avoid things potentially like cramping, legs locking up, all those things, because you're not going at an intensity that is unsustainable for the Hyrox event. But then, incorporating a better pace with fast transitions is a really good recipe to have a really, really quick time, right? So again, if we do some real basic math in transitions, right? So I talked you through sort of like a 15-second turnaround, right? But let's just say, there's 8 runs, 8 stations, right? So we're looking at it around 16 roughly, transitions. And this could be way more, again, if you're in a doubles event and you're passing equipment, and then take all the little things, all the turn points, all the areas you got to turn around with the sleds, the in and out of the rower, picking up the sandbags. Think about all the extras, right? So I'm just going to say 16, but this thing could easily blow out to 30 plus transitions, right? So if you were to lose on average 5 seconds of transition, where 5 seconds is literally you just like taking an extra breath, right? Looking left and right, that is 5 seconds, right? So that's a minute 20 over an event, a minute 20. Right? So again, imagine if that was easily doubled with all the other transitions. We're talking now 2 minutes 40, right? And then let alone if it was 10 seconds on average, right? This is where this thing, that's like 5 minutes 20 just there, right? This thing could blow out. This thing could just blow out to even close to 10 minutes, dare say it, right? If we really let these transitions get away from us, right? And this is why, we always do see quite an improvement of athletes or anyone who does Hyrox from one event to the next. So here in Australia, we had Melbourne kicked off the Hyrox season for us. And then we had Sydney like 4 weeks after that. We had Brisbane 4 weeks after that. We had Perth, and now, we got Melbourne 2.0 coming up. But why we see people make such improvements isn't always necessarily because they're getting so much fitter in 4 weeks, but experience comes through, lessons come through, right? And a lot of these lessons and experiences come with knowing. So once you've done an event, next time you know how to just move a little bit faster, you can anticipate these things. But the biggest gain is the transitions, and that's where a lot of people's experience comes in. They're not sort of jogging lightly into the rock zone wondering where to go. Next time they know where to go, so they run straight to where they want to go, or they know where the equipment is, or how to pick it up and how to put it down. So that is actually where a lot of the time. So if you're new to Hyrox and you got your first race coming up, this is a great insight, and this is a really, really good lesson to learn, and just something to put attention to right now. Okay, so how do you put attention to this, right? And in training and in your training. So if you have functional workouts or Hyrox specific workouts, circuit workouts, anything where you're going from one movement to another, you're going from a run to a station, right? Now you want to start to go, okay, how I go from one to the other is important, right? It matters. So if you're trying to do a workout and you're trying to, repeat round times, or you're trying to get the fastest round times or overall time, that's just one view. But then to really start to break down the workout to all the little pieces, and just understanding that, okay, if I'm on the treadmill and I'm going off the treadmill to the sled, right? Like putting urgency around that. And that is something that you should be mimicking in training, right? The urgency from one movement to another. And this is really going to, again, pay off big time. So big when it comes to your Hyrox racing, okay? So if we look at, let's now look at, again, where do I think the biggest time wasters are, right? Well, the ones that I see a lot of people probably taking too long, right, when it comes to transitions. So the sleds, okay, the sled push and pull, they're heavy, they're hard, and a lot of people need to rest a little bit on it, right? So when we look here, it's not simply me just saying, hurry up and transition, but it's really about going, okay, why do we take so long in the transition? Why do we take so long to turn around to then start moving the sled again? And it's going to, again, be that we're probably inefficient in our technique, which is using more energy. So then you need to rest more. So looking at creating efficiencies through technique, but also just, appropriate pacing, making sure that you're moving at a pace where you can still breathe, you don't hit the wall, you don't blow up, right? Is going to then allow you to make those quick transitions, okay? So sled push and pull is going to be a huge area. And if you can really refine this area, I guarantee you're going to make up a lot of time. And again, this is how you're going to really separate yourself from a lot of the field. Okay, the row station is a really big one. Why? Because we got to put our feet into foot straps and we got to get them out of there, right? So just learning how to transition in and out of that ski erg quickly, and anticipate the worst. Anticipate that your feet are much bigger than the person's who was on that erg before you. So you want to learn how to quickly run into the rower and adjust the strap so you can get your foot in. So like myself, I'm a size 11 shoe. So most of the time when I go into the erg, someone has done it really tight, especially if a girl was on it before me. So I've learned to really just get my toe under. Like I run in, try to get my toe under, so then it will assist me in loosening the strap, and then the foot can go straight in. See how that's just a little technique or something I've thought about to, again, help me create a quicker transition when it comes to jumping on the rower, right? Grabbing equipment is another one. So when we're looking at the kettlebells in the farmer's carries, the sandbags, again, having urgency to just run straight to the equipment, to pick it up and go, right? Like I will deal with catching my breath on the lunges or in the kettlebell walk, right? By pacing, right? But I don't want to take any time Free time, it's just free time that it's just sitting there. And if you just walk or take your time or take a breath or just wipe your face, like and just standing there, right? Again, you're losing that time. So that's a huge one that I see. Okay, partner transitions is a big one, right? So for all the people who are doing doubles, right, mixed as well, it's transitioning. So trying to minimize potentially how often that you do transition. So example with the sandbag lunges, me and my partner Gab, we tried to just do one transition. It's like I would go as far as I could, and she tried to. We actually blew up a little bit in Brisbane on that one there, so we had to put another transition in. But again, it was a mindset. That was something to go, okay, the less that we can do, the better. Rather than going, okay, we're going to swap this bag 4 times, 4 transitions. That could be 2 seconds of just playing around. That's 8 seconds. But again, 8 seconds by each station, that's heaps of time, right? So if you're listening to this, right, and you are in the top of the field, right, so a lot of this is really good information for new people, but if you are literally at the top of the field, you're trying to break through to get to that podium, if you're trying to, example, so me and Gab in our mixed doubles, we're trying to crack the hour mark, and if you're someone who's trying to also crack the hour mark in whatever category you're doing, so we did like a 101 4 seconds, so 64 seconds, right? So you could see how 64 seconds over 8 stations, it's not much time per station, right? That's literally, I can't do the math right now, but we're talking seconds per round that we need to save, right? And that's going to make a huge difference. So 64, yeah, we're talking like 5 seconds, 4 seconds around. So see how all this adds up. So if you literally are a minute or 2 minutes away, it's like really highlighting your transitions. And to make them quicker could be a huge difference. There's some key areas there that we want to look, and there's lots more to talk about too, but I won't bore you by going into all of them. We get the idea there. Now, the World Championships, there was a major Hyrox event at Amsterdam over the last week. Which was really cool to see with the Elite 15 were in play and in action. And it was really good to watch. If you haven't seen it, definitely jump on YouTube and watch it. It's really cool. And so there was one thing, there was actually several lessons, but I'm going to cover one here today from watching that race. But one of them had to do with, our Australian athlete, James Kelly, who came second in his race, which was an incredible performance. But something that he said after it, right, was he was great on a microphone. James, if you're listening to this, you're definitely good behind a mic. And he was talking about and it was very clear in the race, if anyone watched the race, how fast he was on the transitions. So he was making up time and literally working his way. He was probably sitting, it looked, sort of 5th place, throughout the first half of the race. And then by the second half of the event he was just making ground, making time, and then really battling. He was in the lead at some points, really battling with the leader, and his transitions, his ability just to finish the exercise, get straight back out on the run. He had a quick run as well. And then he, in the transition zone through the rock zone, he was flying substantially quicker. So that was something he did. But he mentioned it in his interview after the race, and it was really good. And he noted that he was quick on transitions. And this is a really good point. And this is also what I'm going to touch on now, is he mentioned, and as an athlete, he really, prides himself on this. But it's a mindset. It's a mental approach. It's having a very, disciplined mind, and to purposely know that transitions is a way to not slow down. It's not to allow that inner voice to telling you to slow down or it's hard to creep in. And he really, made a point of that, saying that it's a mindset that he adopted. And, you could just clearly see how it just gives him strength and it gives him power and energy with that mindset. So quick transitions, it is nothing new, right? It is nothing new to Hyrox. It is nothing new to a lot of sports. If you think of sports like triathlons, if you think of, there's lots of transitions in there. If you think of sports like even like CrossFit's been around for a while. And, for myself, because I come from a CrossFit background, this idea of moving quick between movements was, a must between the elites, especially in the CrossFit space. And and many other sports, obstacle course racing, all this, like, it is not a new thing that fast transitions are a thing and what separate a lot of the field. But it totally becomes, it's a mindset, right? And that's what I'm trying to, I guess, really share and instill in you guys, is it's a mindset when it comes to training. It's a mindset when it comes to racing. But it's really about developing a mindset that is one of discipline. Just, not being afraid of things to get hard. Not being afraid of pushing it. Not allowing the thoughts of fear or, this is getting too hard to slow you down. It's really about creating resilience and determination and then gaining strength and energy from that, knowing that this is a thing that separates a lot of the people. So when it gets hard and when it gets tough and you want to walk between your transition and you don't want to get straight back on the run, just knowing that is you just trying to, your safety mechanism trying to slow you down. But if you can overcome that and go, no, I'm going to keep pushing, then that should invigorate you and that should inspire you to go, this is the thing that's going to make me faster. This is the thing that's going to push me. This is the thing that a lot of people get scared of and shy away. I'm talking 99% of people in the world. And it's a very unique skill and talent to have. And the more you can display it and the stronger skill it gets, just like any other skill. We understand lifting weights builds muscle, running makes you faster. But, pushing through mental barriers all the time is a muscle that gets worked out as well. It's a mind muscle, and it will make you faster over time. So, and again, it's nothing new to sport. It's nothing new to racing. All right. But, with Hyrox being such a new sport and a lot of, it's a very inclusive sport where we have so many people who have never raced in their life or ain't done anything like this. So this is quite a new concept. But also, again, for those who are sort of, doing this for the second, third, fifth time, those who are really looking to shave those seconds off, right? It's always going back to basics. And this is a basic, the idea of quick transition, not wasting time. It is a basic that you just really need to master and refine. So there's nothing overly, technical. There's no secret there. Again, it's just putting light onto the simple things and doing them well. All right. So guys, that is it. That is the quick transition podcast. You can apply that again straight to your training, right? And I know it's going to have a huge impact come your Hyrox race day. So guys, until the next episode, keep training hard. And if you have any successes, I would love to hear your stories. You can find myself on Instagram at Hyrox_Heroes. Please send me a message. I love that. We also have our free Hyrox Heroes community. So the link will be in the description here. If you're not part of that, jump in there. We share all insights. We have a community growing all around the world that you can be part of. We share workouts, movement demonstrations, everything inside there. And if you really want to take your Hyrox to the next level, get on a structured plan, get motivation, get coaching from myself, be surrounded by people who are really invested into the training. We also have our Hyrox Heroes paid community, which again just takes everything to another level for those who really want, again, to follow a structured plan and leave no stone unturned. Link is also down below, guys. But other than that, hopefully you got value from this. I know this is going to be valuable, and I hope to see you all at a Hyrox event sometime soon.